Good morning.
Good morning.
Hello.
Good morning.
It is Sunday, March 6th. Holy shit. March 6th at 8:35 a.m. It's early. What's up, Drake? We're going to play some Dungeons and Dragons. Session 13 of Odyssey of the Dragonlords. They're in a maze for quite a while now. Hopefully they might be able to escape it today. We shall see. So, right quick, we'll do some introductions, do a recap, and then get going. So, we'll start off left to my right. Nico, tell us a little about him.
Morning. Nicodemus is a dwarf who used to be a dockmaster in Mitros. He has medium-length red hair. His face is tanned and wrinkled from the sun. After losing his family, he went into seclusion in the Old Wood, and there the druids took pity upon him and trained them in their ways. He gained strength and power of wild shape, and they helped him form a beautiful scale mail of petrified wood. He carries a scimitar that he rarely uses, and a wooden shield with a squid painted on the front of it. And he's trying to get through this maze today as in the shape of a bear.
Yes, Bear Burzum, or Bear Nico.
Nico.
Yeah, Bear Nico. Right. Corbin, the gnome.
Corbin is a mighty Dragonlord who's been reincarnated as a tiny 3.5-foot gnome. He's a kilt-wearing, bare-handed fighter barbarian, and he's been taking a lot of beatings in the maze, so he's looking to try and survive this week.
Yes, Mitrius.
Amitrius is a Centaur Paladin, the Oath of the Conquest, who was a former slave. He now worships the Divine Stallion, the Centaur god, and he's doing his best to try and make it through this maze alive.
Right, Arcadia.
Arcadia is
Okay,
a ranger rogue.
Thing.
She's also an Amazon who grew up on the isolated island of Themis. And that Amazons are barbarians. And those of people who are from Thylea know that they're among the most feared warriors. And they're brutal berserkers with no mercy. She's 19, 5'10", 145 pounds. She hasn't had a lot of experience with men. So up until probably this last session, she hasn't really said much on her own, but she's in the middle of a tirade as we left our last session, so she might be saying more. She prefers to keep a distance, both in battle and with others.
Nice. And Kamos.
Ramos is a human wizard, highborn with a goth aesthetic.
All right. So Arcadia. Not much happened, but tell us.
Well, in Arcadia's mind, plenty happened to start her on her, get her so mad. So we start off in the maze, and we have killed the Minotaur. Well, we think we killed the Minotaur, but our Amitrius secretly healed him. We get a golden lion shield and an axe from him, and Kamos detects magic on it, and they have some magic properties but need to be repaired to be at full strength. Steve wants to leave and get them repaired and return, but he's voted down. Arcadia is uneasy at being in the room with 3 entry points, and they look at each go to the door to defend. But she is also concerned people are out of spells. Corbin says that we're close to a long rest, but Amitrius says, we've already beaten the defender of this maze, so now it's just a question of finding what loot is hidden here. And Arcadia says, I wouldn't be so sure. Kyra is visibly mad as we leave the room. Kamos asks her what's the matter, and she just says, I'm fine. As Amitrius forges ahead,
I'm fine.
Corbin asks him
Everything's
as they
fine.
get to a turn that maybe we should wait for the others. But Demetrius assumes everyone is following behind him. He moves ahead in the lead. Steve somehow is in the rear, takes the wrong turn, gets separated from the party, and runs into a Minotaur skeleton. At this point, Arcadia is muttering under her breath about how stupid this is and how some people are going to get us killed. Corbin thinks we might have to leave and come back at this point. Meanwhile, Demetrius hears something's ahead of him. He encounters a Minotaur skeleton who fells him with one blow. Luckily, Nicodemus is with him and revives him with a healing word, but he only has one spell left at this point. Corbin comes down to help Steve. He thinks maybe we should just get out of here. Camos uses his familiar Sapphire. Arcadia thinks we should retreat to the south and tells him which is where we came from, the entrance to that maze, and tells him the Minotaur is to the east. So Corbin gets to Steve. He wants to retreat out of the maze. He will try to hold the Minotaur in place. And he says, I think we should retreat out of here, and we're not strong enough for this. And Arcadia mutters under her breath, no shit. Meanwhile, north, the other part, Nico is upset at what happens to Demetrius. He wild shapes into a bear and attacks the Minotaur skeleton. And so they are in battle. Arcadia yells, we need to disengage to where they can only attack us from one point. She wants to go south, and she talks about an earlier fork in the maze that Corbin doesn't remember, and he, in a very stereotypical man, says he doesn't like to use maps anyway. So now there's a standoff basically between Corbin, Steve, and the Minotaur to the south, and Nicodemus and Demetrius engaged in battle in the north. So eventually Nicodemus kills the Minotaur skeleton, but instead of retreating to the south, they continue deeper into the maze. So the party to the south has no choice but to follow them. Demetrius recommends moving within sight of each other so we don't split the party again. We've come across a door, and at first Nico is going to bust it down, but he asks if anybody else wants to take the lead. So he moves north and finds a circular chamber with a domed ceiling that has an oculus that lets in sunlight from above. And it is dominated by a large stone sarcophagus engraved with gilded letters. And at the foot of it, is an old but beautifully woven rug. And it depicts Xander conquering a race of bull-headed minotaurs. And one of the creatures kneels at Xander's feet with a peace offering held above his head. And we can see behind the sarcophagus is some kind of lever. Now, Demetrius at this point thinks we might have reached the end of the maze. Nico drops his wild shape, and then we start talking about having a rest. Demetrius feels we can guard the one entryway fairly easily, but Corbin questions taking a long rest without even looking in the room, and Camos really needs a long rest because he's out of spells. So we check the room. Arcadia makes her way to the door and listens at it, and she doesn't hear anything. And Steve has this look in his eye and says he has a really good feeling about the door. And he reaches towards it, and Arcadia says, "Don't you dare open this door or I will kill you myself." But he goes and reaches behind her to the door and freezes it closed with shape water. So when Corbin goes into the room, he sees on the sarcophagus in Draconic an inscription that reads, "Xander Horath, first of his order, death awaits any who would desecrate the great warrior within." And Demetrius points out that Xander has subjugated and slain most of the Minotaurs as he's using their corpses to defend his tomb, and wonders if he turned into a necromancer. Corbin thinks it's unlikely. So he and Arcadia check for traps. When she touches the sarcophagus, her hand is stuck, and so we have run into our second mimic of the campaign. Not only that, as she's standing there, the rug animates, and we run into our second rug of smothering of the campaign. We see one of Demetrius's new powers. He tries to channel divinity conquering presence to try to frighten the creatures, but unfortunately it doesn't work. A little point of detail, the rug is made out of goat hair. No fun. So we basically fight. Arcadia gets smothered by the rug. And while she's in there, people attack the rug, which end up doing damage to her, and you hear a muffled swear coming from it. Kyra actually pokes her finger at one point, and she shoots a bolt of electricity at both the rug and the mimic, which damages both of them. Eventually, we prevail, and then Corbin pulls the lever and hears, coming from somewhere within the maze, a screeching sound of metal against metal. After a long debate, we have Sapphire lead us back out the way we came. We take a long rest in Corbin's tomb. Kyra doesn't speak to any of us. On the way back, we notice that the Minotaur is gone. And we open the door to that room that was next to the false tomb. And we find that it is littered with bones, discarded weapons, and rusted shields, and they animate as we enter into 6-armed skeletons. And Demetrius is getting better at this point. His withdrawal symptoms are improving. Unfortunately, that doesn't stop him from getting injured. I think he actually goes down. Yes, he does. And what he says we should do the good old hallway tanking, lure them all to one spot, and take the dodge action. Then Kyra says, well, I'd like to try and help you guys, but you're in my damn way, so I guess I'll just sit here and pick my nails. So Demetrius disengages, and he tells Corbin, this isn't working. We need to pull them back in a more favorable position. We should use the hallway as a means to contain them so that they can only attack us one by one. Arcadia says she's going to hold an action until there are only 2 people in front of her, because with 3 people she can't do anything. Steve pulls out a flask of oil and wants Camus to throw a firebolt at the skeleton he pours the oil on. So then Nicodemus attacks, but he stays where he is, and Arcadia's telling him to get out of the way. She's holding her action, but he doesn't. Eventually Corbin disengages, and Arcadia says, finally, people who are making tactical sense. Kyra says, don't these men know how to listen? And Arcadia says, obviously not. And Demetrius notices that both Kyra and Arcadia asked everyone to get out of their way. Corbin is looking pretty bad at this point. Arcadia yells at him to dodge. He won't. He thinks there are too many enemies to dodge successfully. We eventually get into the room. At one point, there's a line of 5 people in front of Arcadia. Nico moves into the room, turns into a bear. So many of the people end up in the room. At this point, Arcadia sighs and looks at Kyra and says, men. And then she moves to the other side of Kyra, away from the attack. And she is frustrated because she's completely blocked and no one bothered either her or Demetrius' tactics. So eventually, they kill everybody. They only find bones there. And Demetrius, and this is what happens right as our session ends. Demetrius says, Arcadia, I don't expect this kind of behavior from you. Usually you're helpful. I know it's annoying that we're in the hallway, but you could have done something. The rest can go in and attack. It's not like you. And she is very angry, and she said, I had 5 people in front of me, and no one followed the tactics that you laid out. If we were fighting an Amazon war party, we would be decimated with the way people are not working together, and I've had it. Demetrius says, you might be right, but that doesn't mean you shouldn't do anything at all. And Arcadia said, you were all in there handling things fine. And Demetrius says, okay, well, we're almost done, so. And with that, we've come to the end of that session. By the way, Corbin went down 5 times, keeping track for everybody. And Demetrius and Steve are quite injured. So Arcadia has just listened to the door to the south and hasn't heard anything, but she is in the middle of her tirade and continues by saying that we need to have better tactics than this. We have fallen victim to things that could kill us. The first being that we overestimate our abilities and we are making assumptions, assuming that we're at the end of the maze. This maze could be 10 times as large as we think. We don't know, and there's no guarantee that we can get out. And we need to have a strong path of escape, which is why I've been dropping those ball bearings. So we do need maps in this sense. We need to know our strengths and weaknesses. If someone calls out a tactic, we need to follow it. And it's like she looks at Corbin and says, why didn't you dodge?
Yeah,
I
why did
have-
you dodge?
I rely on my rage to stay alive, and I can't dodge if I'm raging. I have to attack.
So you have to continue attacking. This is something I did not know.
Our
Plus
character, doesn't it keep up even if you are attacked, so you don't have to attack?
Well, if I get hit.
Oh, if you get hit, so if you
I
get
have
missed,
to.
it doesn't.
Right.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
Also,
Okay, so that makes sense.
once I got out of the room, I was killed, and I was only getting resurrected with 1 hit point. So dodging 3 guys with 1 hit point was probably not going to work. So I started attacking.
And Demetrius says,
Okay.
well, I'm not going to use all my magic to bring you back if you're just going to get knocked down again the next time. It would be a waste of my resources. So I think it worked out fine.
Well, we managed to get through the room, but what are we going to do? I don't want to waste the bear, but I only have 1 hit point right now, so that's a bit tough for me. Does anyone have a
Well, we
spare
should
potion or
understand
anything?
Well, it might have worked out fine, but we can't assume that it will work out fine the next time. We don't know if we can get out. So I think it's important that we share information. So Corbin, I didn't know this. You have to be attacked. So we need someone else to possibly, if we run into this situation again, to be the
5
person
potions
to
of
dodge.
healing.
Now, can Nico Demas understand in his bear form what we're saying? She
Yes.
looks at him and says, "Can you
He
understand?"
can, but he can't relate, except for nodding and shaking his head.
I can talk to animals, or at least I can interpret animals, so I will grunt at Nico.
I noticed that Steve has 4 ointments that heal for a lot.
A lot of people have potions of healing too.
Yes,
Yeah.
Kyotom's
Okay.
ointments, 4 doses.
Okay, I think the first thing we should do is assume we'll be stuck in here, and then we should proceed
What is that
cautiously
thing called?
because we can't rely on the fact that we can rest. And I think we should learn each other's strengths and weaknesses. And I'll start. I do best if someone is next to the enemy because while they're distracted, I can hone in on their weaknesses and sometimes get extra damage. I just
But you also
So people
can't have
can
too
know
many
that.
people in front of you.
That's true. On the other hand, if you need someone to dodge, I know how to use a shield. I would try to use that lion shield, even though it may not be at its full strength. It could be partially effective. So, but I think that Demetrius, when he uses his divine smite, and Nico when he is using his bear form, and I occasionally when I use a sneak attack and hunter's mark, are the major damage dealers in this party. Camos is obviously the least protected, and he has some great spells to disable single people when he tells his jokes. Nicodemus is both a great fighter and a healer, so he's in a weird position where we have to protect him as the party main healer, but also he is probably the best protected with that petrified bark. And he has great abilities with his heat metal and the fairy fire. I'm also probably the most stealthy, so should I lead the party?
Yeah, I'm
This
thinking
time I'm
maybe
just gonna look at
you
it.
could lead him back to the bear
Okay.
if you can, but you got to get around him. After grunting at Nicodemus for a little bit, I think he has 1 wild shape left, and I'd like to proceed without wasting the one he has now. But I'm looking around and I see that Steve, myself, and Demetrius are all near death, so I think we may need to try to do a short rest, unless we got a lot of potions.
I
So,
also think Nicodemus, if he fights in the hallways, he can't do much. Because he has to squeeze. Okay.
oh, I'll say. So while you guys were discussing, Steve pulls out this like ointment jar, and he's going to it looks like that, and he's going to rub some on himself and Corbin. And what that does, it heals.
I'll ask him to rub some on me too.
And he will say, I don't have much left. I'm sorry. And he will try to just. Oops.
And then Arcadia says, one thing I neglected to say is Kyra offered to attack. Next time a goddess offers to attack and we're in her way, I would suggest trying to do what she says.
I thought
Yeah.
she was just offering an excuse for why she didn't attack.
She's kind of hit or miss. Sometimes she's really useful, sometimes not so much.
Do you say that out loud?
Yeah, we're talking about her as if, she's not in the room.
Well, she isn't. She's outside the room. But
Yuck, yuck, yuck.
So Demetrius, when Steve said that he didn't have hardly anything left, he was lying.
Stop lying and give me that ointment. Or you can, next time you're wounded, I won't heal you.
Fine. And then he'll rub
Arcadia,
one on you. He'll rub you down.
You've never seen Arcadia do this, but she's stowing her crossbow, and she asks to look at the shield and that axe. The ones that... And she looks at Kamos and says, do you think these have some properties to them? They're just not at full strength?
it's still a
Right,
shield.
that's the idea. Yes. So I don't know if it's going. I mean, I know it's magical, but I don't know if it's gonna. I mean, I identified that shield, right?
Yeah, it's a shield, but there's some it's magical, but you're not exactly sure what the properties are because it needs to be fixed. It's kind of I know identified tells you things, but there's a certain reason why it's not telling you.
But at least it's a regular shield.
Yeah, you can use it as a regular shield.
And it's an axe, right?
Yes.
Arcadia asks Steve if she can take those because she's going to be in the lead, and she kind of hefts them around. And do I get any? If he decides to give me those things, do I get the impression that they're anything more than a normal one?
So the shield looks very nice, and the axe looks like that. So and he also identified the axe. There's also magical properties to that, but needs to be fixed.
So the magic's not working. It's just a regular axe.
Correct. It'd be a regular great axe.
Okay, I didn't know if it was. Okay, I didn't know if it was at half property and needed to be fixed, or it's just a regular axe.
You can use it as a regular great axe.
So it's a two-handed
No,
weapon.
she'd
Yeah, you wouldn't want to
No,
use a
she
shield.
doesn't want to use that. She's going to hand it. She's going to hand it back, but she'll take the shield and she's going to draw her compass instead.
All right. Shield's in party sheet. Putting on a shield.
So we're going to try to move ahead without the rest.
Seems like it.
All right.
How How wounded are people still? Let's see. Oof.
Corbin's
guys are
pretty
pretty-
wounded. Demetrius got a good heal from that lotion.
Puts the lotion on the skin.
So cool.
He rubbed out a good one on him.
What kind of healing do we have in terms of potions?
I've got nothing.
I spent my last potion on Corbin.
Can you ask Nicodemus, does he's at full spells, right? And he has several healing spells, but not in bear form, obviously.
Yeah, he's got one more wild sheep, and I don't know if he's got a heal slot or not. Heal?
He kind of grunts and lets you know. You get the impression that he can still heal.
He can still heal after he's not a bear.
And how long does he last being a bear? This is like Home Improvement.
I don't know. It's never lasted as long.
Probably
he's
at
not
least,
here right now.
probably a while, at least an hour, I'd say. Based on my knowledge of magical bears.
Okay. And Demetrius, you can heal still? Do you have any healing powers left?
And Amicius grumbles. Like, my power is for smiting my foes. But I have a little bit of healing power left. I can touch Corbin a few more times if he goes down.
Can we send the
Arcadia
owl
says-
forward? Or do we
Yeah, I
want to
think
send
that's a good
Arcadia
idea.
forward?
Well, the owl can go in front of Arcadia. She can follow. Or we can send the owl first. So should we open
here we
this
go.
door? One.
Going down,
South.
but we need to. If we run into something, hopefully we need to retreat back to some kind of.
Well, I thought the plan
So why
was
don't-
Arcadia goes down, lures the enemies up, and then Corbin smashes them.
No, bear smashes him, and then Corbin sneaks in.
I mean, Nicodemus, yeah.
How do I control
that's
the
the plan.
Sapphire? Is it like she have her own character sheet now, or what?
Let's see if I can share this with you. So if you keep that open, you should be able to move her.
Yeah, it's been a while since I've controlled two characters. Hopefully it's the same deal.
It works about 50% of the time.
Oh yeah, good stuff. It's like alright, beast unaligned. I'm looking for something to click on. Change focus.
The token. Oh wait, no, she doesn't have an old character sheet. I just had the token and that thing. So if you're moving her, I guess we can just move you and you can act as her.
Yeah.
Sure. I'm fully qualified dad. I would listen to dad jokes somewhere nice. Right.
We in turn order?
No initiative. Alright, so she flies down there, and you said it rounds a corner.
Perception check. See if I can figure out how to do that from here. Sight. Generic actions. I disengage, break, grapple. No.
Just perception. Let's see what that's and a +3. So that she knows that this is a mace, but everything's starting to kind of blend together.
Is Kamos controlling him? Or her?
Yes.
Yeah. Or more rather, I'm just like swooping my token around, and it's like you guys might as well come down. I switch back to my character and be like, we might as well go down the hallway. There's nothing for the next 3 turns to worry about.
But I think Nicodemus can't fight well in the hallway.
Oh, gotcha. All right. So that the idea is I'm looking for something,
Yeah,
and
since he has
there's
to
no
speak.
branches. It's okay. Finally got to an intersection.
And which way does the intersection go? What 2
Oh,
directions? Does
I
it-
traveled, it snaked to the east, and it finally got to a place where I could go north or south.
How much distance do you have where you can maintain contact with the owl?
Oh, good point.
100 feet. And you guys are 40 feet away from each other.
Hey, since you don't have any barbarians, can the owl like poop on the wall?
Are there any dead mice I can kill?
Is there any what?
Is there any mice I can kill and leave as a trail?
Let's see if she can find one.
Oh, don't
Why?
worry about that. Anyway, I think you guys should just come down this way because, 40 feet is, I think, a good distance. That's a comfortable maximum distance for sending the owl ahead. I'm not going to be able to, never
Arcadia
mind.
says, let me just go ahead.
I'm going to scout out the north way.
All right.
Scouting the north. Where did Corbin go?
I went to join him. He said, "Come and join him."
Yeah.
And she looks at him. No, the plan is to lure people back. You're injured. You should stay here.
All right.
Okay.
I thought we were moving up.
Yeah, it's like, what, all right, I'll keep scouting ahead until I get to the end of my, of the owl's range.
Okay. So she flies up there, finds a dead end.
Haha!
Just, fly most of the way down the dead end, perception check.
Alright, that's wisdom plus a 3. So looking here, she doesn't notice anything out of the ordinary.
Okay. Alright, I'm gonna try out the other fork.
And she can see a branch to the north and to the south again. The north appears to be a dead end. And then the
Alright.
south snakes around.
As much as there's branches, there still ends up being only one viable path. And when you're doing range, it's not basically a chain of line of sights. It's as the owl would fly,
Correct.
100 feet.
Correct.
As the owl.
Yeah.
I haven't seen any. Oh, I finally found a door,
It is closed,
and it is closed.
I believe.
And all that's between, I'm basically in, as far as I can tell, the south eastern corner of the map, and it's all corridors, no rooms, till I got to this door. So there's no other branching. I've explored everything I can in this direction,
A random trap schmo.
and the only thing
All
I
right.
found is a door.
What's up, schmo? Fucking schmo.
Okay.
Let's see, do I have
So
it?
Do you
either-
want me to go to? Do you want me to go to that door, open it, and just run like hell back here if there are things in there, or how do we want to do this?
I'd be surprised if there is something in the door, it would follow us all the way back, but we could try. Yeah.
What does
Let's
the
do that.
party think? Okay.
No,
I mean, we could set up in the hallway
no, because they're in a maze.
if there's a good choke point, but
What's this?
Nicodemus would have to squeeze, so he wouldn't be as effective.
There we go.
And Nico would let everyone go ahead and take up the rear.
It's right
Okay.
there.
Do you want to just do a marching order and have Nico follow us in the rear and go down the hallway?
I don't know.
He wouldn't want to get in front of everybody because it would block. He'd be too big in the hallway.
Yeah, but I don't know. Corbin would kind of want him in front because he's the one that's got the most life. Ideally, we'd come to like a T intersection, and we could both. You could have two people stand with
There is a T
Oh.
section halfway down that
Come up,
could work there.
come up with a plan if you want that door to be open and send me ahead. Give me the go ahead or not.
I'm gonna have you guys come down. I'm gonna show you a good spot for the bear to park his butt.
All right.
It's like now that I've been down the corridor, this is actually Kamos, who's like, you just come down this way. After my movement gets confirmed.
Sorry.
Arcadia says she's not injured, so she would lead.
Okay. It's weird how Nicodemus just keeps being on me when I move. Do you want to go first? Yeah.
Yeah, you guys go ahead. There
So
we
just
go.
keep on going.
Shouldn't Demetrius should probably be right behind somebody because he's got a reach weapon.
I call it arrogance or confidence or stupidity, but at this point, Chamos is just taking the lead because he's confident that there's nothing in these hallways. So
Okay,
I'm
I'll
like
let you get ahead then.
trying to take everybody to point where like, look, I think this is a good point for Nicodemus to park his butt, and then we try to lure whatever's in the room to that point.
But it. Oh, okay.
If you don't like the plan, that's fine. It's just first I'm going to show you the spot I'm talking about.
Yeah, that was what I was waiting for. I thought it was over here, but he was still moving. So.
Yeah. It's kind of like this is the first T intersection. There's nothing but a dead end to the north.
For sure.
And Arcadia says, "Don't take this personally, but I'm going to check myself." And she's just gonna.
Oh yeah, sounds awesome.
I'm going to go to the end of this hallway and do a perception check to see if I notice any hidden doors or.
Okay. You know
poking the walls with my.
So you're looking at this wall. You know that it is a wall. You hit the wall, and it is definitely a wall.
Okay, then I come back.
Where do you want the bear to go?
All right. So right over where I'm going right now, there's like this 10-foot deep dead end. Seems like a great place for a bear to park his butt.
What's up, Brogar? Alright, so, Kamos.
Yes.
As you're telling everyone this is where we walk, this is how we know, as soon as you get to this point right there, you feel something brush against your foot and kind of pull off as the wall next to you kind of like some little things pop out and you get hit by some fire.
Ow.
As
Did it hit? Oh, I saved.
It's
I
a
saved.
save. So half damage.
So that's what, 18 points of damage?
6.
Medic!
I'm just reminding everyone.
I've been hurt!
Thanks, Schmo.
Change out of a bear!
Arcadia looked at him and says, "It's no worse than the sunburn on your face."
Oh,
And I'm reminding everybody that we should all have inspiration. Just reminding everybody, inspiration.
Inspiration.
So is
fair,
that
he did.
now that that trap fired? Do we know if it's disabled? Does somebody need to inspect it to see if it's going to go off again?
Well, he hit
Maybe
it.
Kavas can move through it again and see.
So he
Makes sense.
You do a J-gun.
He hit a tripwire and he pulled the tripwire out.
Okay.
We need somebody to check for traps. Sounds like an Amazon thing.
You go move up,
All right, let me.
get into
So I'll.
thing.
So I'll move ahead to the door. Is this it? She asks him, "Is this the way to the door?" Then.
Yep, it snakes around. But
So,
no,
So are we going to try and set up in the corridor here? Is this the plan?
I think so. Or the T intersection.
So if I stayed at the T, Demetrius could hit behind me, but how are people running away going to get back is the problem.
I have no idea where I am anymore. And I think since last session, half of the maze has become invisible to me. I only know the way back through these little hallways here.
Yes, that's
Do you have
Are you
dark
gonna-
vision?
I do.
I don't, but I have blind sight.
Is your torch lit?
Yes.
Another
I can see this hallway. I just don't remember
guys are
the rest
mean.
of the maze.
You guys are mean.
It's got that lighting effect where it's like super dark. I can see it, but just barely.
Yeah. No.
All right, let's see if they have a
Arcadia
a
calls
ball.
out. Where are you, Centaur?
I'm over
Ball and
here.
block, maybe.
He's behind me. If you're running back, where are you going to go? Are you going to go like in the space in front of Corbin at the T?
She's gonna go back and she's not sure what you guys are doing, so I'm gonna take a look and see your positioning. She knows we're in. Oh, oops.
Because you wouldn't be able to shoot.
Okay.
Well, you can shoot through 2 people.
Yeah, it's not as accurate, but I'm working on it. Okay, so are we ready for me to go?
It's
Yeah.
right there.
Ready as we're
Yeah.
gonna be.
There.
Alright.
She hasn't gone down that far yet.
Check for traps and go see if you can
Yep.
get to the door.
Y'all are mean. Alright, so as you get to this point right here, you kind of step on a plate and you feel like pressure coming down, and as you look up, you see a bunch of boulders falling.
Do we use passive perception for trap detection?
Yep.
Okay.
Use your inspiration.
You succeeded, but half damage. And you see a closed door.
All right. Let's see a closed.
I guess the owl didn't set
Yeah.
it off because it can't walk.
Because it was flying, correct.
Right.
Points to get for... Yeah, it's
Yeah,
1 to
listening
1,
at the
so
door.
1 gold per 1 cheer bit. Right, listening at that door, you do not hear anything.
Okay, I am going to poke it with my dagger, or poke it with my compass. Actually, I have that in
Mimic
hand.
door.
Oh wait, no, you're asking for
Unheard of.
engorging
Whilst
points.
we're
I
waiting,
don't know how
GG.
that. I don't know how that goes.
I'm going to ask
Actually,
Kyra.
think
So,
about what,
Kyra,
gold.
do you have a lover?
I did.
Were they a god?
No.
Oh, so did they grow old and die?
Yeah, he. Yeah, we'll say that he grew old and died.
That's dark. Mustn't be. Gotta be hard being a goddess.
Yeah, that's kind of why I've given up on finding true love.
What about Pythor?
He's my brother, you big doof.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Greece! We're in Greece!
No.
There's a lot of banjo playing going on
Where
around
did
here.
your gods come from anyway? It was a little bit unclear to me.
Oh, we came from above.
So before you came to Thylia, were you living in the clouds, or
Oh, there's a city.
there's a city in a cloud full of gods,
Yes.
and there you were born there, or
One day I wasn't in there, then the next I was.
are
don't
there
know.
more gods there?
Of course.
Why did only a U5 come down?
Because, well, you see, the 5 of us, we kind of like humans more than, or like mortal beings more than the other gods. They're kind of just content.
Is there a horse up there?
There's lots of horses.
Why does Vulcan call Pythor his son?
Because he is his son.
But you said you just came into existence.
Of course.
Do you have a father?
Of course. Everyone has a father, silly.
And he's up there?
Uh-huh.
That's interesting. I don't think anyone knew this. There's only legends where people come from.
Well, no one ever thinks to ask us these things. They just assume.
Well, if you give up on love, you can always go back to the city of the gods and find a lover there.
Well, that's the plan, but, kind of helping to save the world from destruction and all.
Right, there's that.
Uh-huh.
Well, thanks for answering the question.
You're welcome. Thank you for asking. It seems kind of a little cheery when you're asking her things. And then she walks back behind Kamos. Alright, so Arcadia, you listen at the door, you do not hear anything.
Okay, I poke it with my compass, and then I'm
Steve.
going to bite. If it doesn't bite back, I'm going to check for trap.
It does not. Alright, it does not appear to be trapped either.
Okay, I'm going to attempt to stealthily open it. Does it open into the room or towards?
It opens into the room.
Okay, she's going to. Is it? Well, she's gonna. Is it locked?
It is not.
Okay, she is going to crouch down a little bit so as not to make herself a large target and slowly open the door and see what she can see.
Alright.
Of course, having a drift globe next to her will probably not make it all that stealthy.
So,
affectionately.
Opening the door. You see this rectangular room has a high ceiling, sculpted walls, and a flagstone floor. A mangled skeleton lies near the entryway. The walls are embellished with rows of screaming stone faces. The far end of the room features a pair of heavy bronze double doors. Two skeletons are sprawled on the floor in front of these doors. Their bones are partially crushed, and their armor is mangled.
Okay. What did you say was near the entryway?
A mangled skeleton.
Oh,
Something crushed them.
So, Corbin.
okay.
Corbin,
Yeah.
She's
yeah.
going to.
how does one become a Dragonlord?
You must grow a young dragon from birth and learn to fly it and bond with it.
So you were just a regular guy, and the only thing that made you a Dragonlord is that you had a dragon. You
Well,
weren't like a god or
I would.
something.
I mean, I was a really, really strong fighter. But the things that make Dragonlords dragons are that we're able to communicate with our dragons and bond with them.
Yeah, you were just some mortal guy with a dragon.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
So you weren't like blessed by the gods or immortal or.
Well, somehow I must have something going for me because I seem to have been reincarnated and survived 500 years.
Yes, I wonder about that. I think you should ask Versi for a few details about that. I think
Yes.
Kyra mentioned once that your memory might not be what it seems.
Well, clearly I had forgotten about being betrayed. So yes, there are holes.
Well, it's hard to remember being betrayed when the betrayal itself killed you.
I guess so.
I mean, if someone chopped off my head suddenly from behind, I wouldn't know that my head got chopped off from behind. I would just be dead. If that makes sense.
I just waiting to get my hands on whoever betrayed me. I have to see that Cyclops again.
Interesting. Maybe we could become Dragonlords ourselves. Not that I
Yeah.
would, but just saying.
Yes, mate.
Politics is-
It would be nice to to have a dragon again. I miss my old dragon, young Ilron.
Yo, Rob.
One thing at a time.
He was a strange dragon, but I loved him.
All right, Arcadia.
Arcadia kneels down. She's looking very carefully in the room to make sure nothing is moving. She's going to take her hunting trap out of her backpack, which weighs 25 pounds. It's quite heavy. And she's going to throw it into the room, lob it actually, to try to trigger any kind of trap that might be in there. She's going to lob it towards the double doors where the skeletons are crushed.
Okay. So give us what? Throwing, what was it? Athletics or strength, maybe?
Would be a skill, athletic skill,
Ju-
or
yeah,
a
ju-
strength check? Or...
just to see how far you throw it, unless you don't really care.
Okay, athletics check, is that it?
Yeah, that works. Yes, good job, Shro. Oh, perfect. So you landed right next to those skeletons. So we'll say those skeletons are right there. And it lands, nice thud, and nothing happens.
Okay. I'm going to dash back up the hallway and tell people what I've seen. But I'll just leave my token there to save time if that's okay.
That's perfect.
Unless something happens on the way back.
Yeah, we're good.
So I described them. Can you guys see in the map what? Because she would just describe it. I don't know if you can see what.
Can we hear you? You're pretty far down the hallway.
Oh, she came back up to you.
No. I run back.
Oh.
I run back to you and describe.
What happened?
I described the room, and it's in chat. And I explained that I threw my hunting trap in there, hoping to trigger any traps. But nothing happened. I don't know what's happening with these bones. I don't know. I didn't step into the room. I don't know if they'll animate. They seem to be pretty crushed, though.
Maybe we should go down to the room and check.
It doesn't sound like there's any enemies, so it should be safe.
Why don't you step into the room and if they animate, run back?
Well, we might get crushed by a trap.
But she already checked for traps. You can do it, Arcadia.
The room where.
Did she check for traps, or did you just throw the bag in there?
She just threw the bag in there.
I just threw the hunting trap in there. I didn't go into the room. I can go into the room, but I just got kicked out.
You just DC'd.
No, you should go into the room, and if they animate, just run back to us.
Okay.
Just prepare a dash action or something.
Okay. All right, I got kicked out of the game, so I'll be
maybe Corbin will go down and tie a rope to you so I can pull you out in case you get crushed to death.
Yeah, that sounds confidence inspiring.
All right. So you tie some rope around Arcadia. And Arcadia, how far into the room are you going to go?
Well, I'm going to go 5 feet at a time, slowly. I'll start by to get back in the game. Did we all get kicked out?
No.
No.
Corbin says, make sure you check for pressure pleats and tripwires. Look at the bones. Do I see any bunny rabbits?
You do not.
Well, thank God for that.
Okay. So I'm going to... waiting for the map to come up. I'm going to look at that first square that's directly west of me.
Going to follow the plan and follow Corbin.
Hey, do I see anything?
No, Corbin, stand back to drag her dead body back.
Oh. Never mind that movement then.
You do not see anything. Other than these skeletons.
Okay. I'm going to press on the floor with my compass. Anything happen?
Nothing happens.
I have a quick question,
Okay.
Gorgio.
I have a quick answer.
Last session, didn't someone do 300 cheer bits for us?
I don't remember that.
Drake Tales, I think, did 300 cheer bits.
Something like that. Oh yeah, I see it. That's 200 actually.
Oh shit, we have that gold?
Sure, I'll give it to you.
Thank you.
Whee!
Thank you,
be
Drake
rich.
Tales,
Alright, so
again,
I've-
if you're watching.
We'll be rich when we die.
Anyways. Oops.
Okay, I'm going to continue inching forward. I'm going to do the same thing. Look, touch with the compass. And I'll move one more into the room.
All of a sudden, all the traps. No, nothing happens.
Right. I'm going to do this. Right, I'm just going to keep on inching forward until unless you tell me something.
Corbin braces himself against the wall with the rope.
I'm going to listen at these doors. Well, first I'm gonna poke them with the compass. She hates doing this, by the way. She thinks it's cowardly, but she
Corbin
also
says, the doors that
But she
bite are
also-
mimics. The doors that don't bite Are well-disciplined mimics.
Alright, so I'm going to listen at the door.
You do not hear anything.
So she looks back at Corbin and says, "So if there's something in here, should we run and we're gonna run and lead them?"
Yeah, we'll run
back
back.
to the other-
I don't want to fight in this room. It looks too deadly.
All right. So, do these doors have? I'm gonna investigate them for traps.
They do not appear to be trapped.
Are those spikes we see along the wall?
They might be.
Like, do we see them?
No.
Oh, okay. It looks like
We just
spikes
see
on the map.
screaming. We see screaming faces.
Hmm.
She looks at Corbin and says, "Do you think we should put earwax in? I don't like the fact that they look like they're screaming."
Hmm. Yeah, but then we won't be able to talk. I think we need to be able to talk.
All right. Well. Okay. So she's going to attempt to open the right door as stealthily as possible. And does it go towards her or away from her?
They open in towards outside.
Oh, they open.
But give me a strength check as you try to open these doors.
And that's just ability,
Yep,
or
just
is it a
straight,
skill?
straight strength. Alright, so you're pushing up against these doors, you think as hard as you can, and they do not budge.
I think she's going to sit there, gain her, close her eyes and try to channel her Amazon training. Is it possible for me to try it again with my inspiration?
Sure.
My inspiration, goodbye, thank you.
It says, lift with your legs.
So pushing up against the door this time, you know you could have done better, and they do not budge.
Corbin says, maybe I should try it. You want to switch
Alright.
places and you hold the rope and pull me back?
Okay.
I'm gonna... let's follow exactly the path you took.
Smart.
I don't want to step anywhere you haven't been. Alright, so if I push the doors open, I'm gonna try to just roll through them immediately to the other side, because I want out of this room. Corbin
Okay.
does not
they-
feel safe.
They come. I think they come towards us.
No, they open in.
They
Like,
open-
out,
they
out,
open?
sorry.
Oh,
They
sorry.
open
Yeah.
out, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm gonna push as hard as I can and follow them through if I can.
Okay. Give us a strength.
Strength. I too will use my inspiration, so advantage on that. Good Jesus, that's terrible.
Yeah, you know you could have done a lot better. They don't budge.
I'm too weak from my wounds. I think we need the horse. And I will
Is there something we can
quickly
tie that?
make my way back out.
Is there something can you tie the rope to? Is there a handle? Oh no, it goes the other way. So
It pushes
never mind.
in.
Okay.
I'll yell up the
We'll have
hallway.
to go
I'll
back.
say, Demetrius, we need you.
Oh, but you know
Uh,
what? If you and I did this together, I could help you.
Or
Do you want
I
to try to
say,
do this together?
Nicodemus probably has the most strength at the moment.
but he'd have to squeeze his way in there. I don't know. I worry about the
Okay.
bear in there.
I will go down to
Or
wherever
Corbin, do you want me
guys
to assist you? Do you want me to assist you?
We both tried it though. Maybe the bear. The bear might
Yeah.
not be a bad idea.
But I mean, you can push it, and I can push.
Jesus,
push you.
navigating
We can
this
push
maze.
together. Do you want to just do this together? Because that would.
And I'll
help us
say,
out.
leave it to me.
I will
And
indicate that the safe path is 2 ahead, diagonal, and then to the door.
I will go and try and open this door.
Okay. So we'll put you in.
Remember your advantage.
All right, so Demetrius, once you step there,
That's not where I told him to go.
No, we told him to step exactly where we stepped.
that would have been exactly like your guys' path would have been fine. But
Okay.
as soon as you step there, you hear kind of a click from those doors behind, like in front of you, but the doors right to where you came in, a nice porkless slams down,
Ah,
Fuck.
and we need to do this.
Wait, so a gate
front of
shut
us?
down in front of me?
Correct. And bang.
All right. So the minute this happens, well, I guess this will be what I do in my turn.
All right, so all right, so Arcadia, you'll be up first.
And she says to Corbin, "Help me try to lift this."
all right.
Gate.
I will assist you.
Or maybe I should wait and actually have you do it. I'm gonna
Yeah.
hold my action, trade places with him, have him lift and assist him.
Okay.
When this gate came down, what did it sound like? Did it sound like the metal I heard earlier?
It did not.
So I have advantage
Okay,
on
you
this.
should- Yeah,
Is
because
this
I'm
a
helping
strength
you.
test or athletics?
On your turn, you'll have initiative on it.
Okay.
Oh, sorry, I'm holding my action, so I'm going to help him.
All right, so between you two, you hear Demetrius. You can kind of see some spikes push out of this wall, and you hear some sounds like metal on metal screeching as it looks like to start moving.
Oh God.
Corbin.
I will try to move the door with my strength. Or is that athletics?
It would be a straight strength.
All right.
All right.
Yes!
So once
Can't
again,
do any better than that.
So once again, remember these rolls will be in the tower. But
Oh, sorry.
let's see here. All right. So you know that you're able to start pulling these up, but you'll need to do it once again next round.
All right. I got a little bit open. If you were only my size, Demetrius, you're too damn big.
Okay, I yell at Demetrius. Maybe you should try to get through those other doors. I don't know.
You try.
You try to get through, or he could try to help us lift this portcullis. Actually, come over here and help us lift this.
How fast?
I'll try the other door first, and whilst you guys work that door, because even if I help, it will only render advantage. Remember?
Or you could
But
try
I mean,
your-
if we
you
only
could try to
need
lift it on your own.
But yeah, that's true.
Okay.
Because we only need to try to do it one more time, and it'll lift up.
It's nice to have advantage though, because if we fail, it might fall down.
That's true. Okay.
Anything else from Corbin?
No, I'm holding up the gate like a little mini jack.
All right, Demetrius.
I will run to this door, and I will take a crowbar from my saddlebags. And I will jam the crowbar into the door and try to pry it open.
Okay.
So that's with advantage.
Mhm. All right, so you kind of, as you're starting to like try to force these doors open, the crowbar slips out of your hand.
Then I will use the rest of my movement. Use manipulate to pick up the crowbar, and use the rest of my movement to go back here. I'll say the other door is not opening.
So, Kamos, up there, you can hear some metal on metal screeching coming from down south.
Okay, I'm just gonna move in that direction. I'm using dash.
Okay.
So that's a total of 40. That's 50. Oh, I get 60 movement if I'm dashing. So I go there.
All right.
Call it a turn.
See who's going to do the same thing.
Turn off all the trash compactors in Sector 12.
Damn. Do I did we? Oh, because he never hit. So that. I'm assuming Sapphire's doing anything.
No.
Okay. Bear Nico.
Air Nico doesn't really know what's going on. He hears something, but he's gonna stay where he's at in case someone calls him to, if he's gonna be needed.
All right.
So he'll just hold an action in case somebody's calls him to be.
Okay. She goes there. Corbin.
I still get an advantage from Arcadia?
If she's going to use her turn to help you.
I will.
Okay. Then yes.
Alright. Then I will try to push the door up even further. I'm in the tower this time.
Alright, so this one, you get it about another maybe foot. It's almost there, but not quite.
It's just too damn big. Or if you were my size, you could get under
Like-
here.
And the fact that you're short.
Yeah.
It's like Arcadia.
Like Arcadia, make a table. I need to get taller. Alright,
Yes,
I guess I have to wait.
Sapphire's nothing. Demetrius.
Can you use the crowbar on that thing?
Yeah, you could.
Okay, so Amitrus is kind of panicking right now. Can I jam my crowbar beneath the portcullis to, like, against the wall and then pry the crowbar up?
Sure.
Let's hope the crowbar doesn't snap.
DC is 20.
Because I have -1 to all rolls.
So, you know you helped a little bit because it went up by another, I'd say, like 6 inches.
Oh god.
How fast is that spike moving?
Hasn't moved yet, but it's fixing to here in a second.
Okay, well that's what I do.
Shen.
Alright. Move down the hallway.
Oops. Oops.
Oh, I got caught on the corner.
There we go.
30. I'm gonna use dash. And I can just be useless here and just be like, oh crap. Is there anything I can do? I don't think so. I'm
Corbin
gonna.
will-
Oh, I
Corbin will
dashed
yell.
anyway.
Yeah. As I see you come around the corner, I'll yell. It's like make sure you leave room for Demetrius to get out.
Got it. Got it.
Yeah,
And,
so
and
back
couldn't
to
you
the-
have foreseen something like this? I thought you were good at that.
Funny you'd mention that. Yeah, I can still see them. I can't foresee what I can't see.
Oh.
Okay. But that's my turn.
So, well, the Arcadia was helping him, but, so these spikes kind of rush forward really quick and smack Demetrius.
Ow. turning him into glue. We have to hurry.
Bear Nico.
Now he's starting to panic a little, being left alone, but he hasn't heard any screaming.
He might have heard Demetrius cry out.
All right. He's gonna
Yeah.
he's gonna move forward and dash. So I think it's 40 feet.
Oh, required is 25. Okay.
How far I moved.
10, 15, 20. That's about 25 right there, I think. What's the bear's movement? 40 feet. So you're squeezing still.
Yeah,
So
but he's dashing.
Dashing, yeah. That would, I think, right about there. Yeah,
Okay.
that's behind Steve.
All right. He'll stay right there, and he's starting to panic because he heard a little bit of screaming. So he's like, "All right, there's something going on. He needs to help." And that'll be Nico's turn.
So, Nico, you can't see her, but you can hear Kyra start laughing a little bit.
Oh, jeez. Steve is in the way. He'll move when Steve moves.
Okay, doke.
So once Steve moves, he'll move behind him.
Bam.
There we go.
Bam. Demetrius. Just got spiked by some spikes.
Still panicking. I'm going to try the same thing again.
You know that you didn't help whatsoever.
That's my action.
And now you can kind of see the wall, the ceiling start to lower a little bit.
I'm going to replace Demetrius's roll with a 13.
13.
Which would make it 15 total.
Yeah, same thing. Didn't help. Just to be fair, that's what he rolled anyways.
Yeah, that's the best roll I got, guys. There's not much more I can do with my portent.
I just have to hope that me and Arcadia can make it work. You
Yeah,
helping
I
again?
am. I moved back, but I'm going to move forward again because I want to leave a space behind Corbin so Demetrius can get out and just stop there. So I'm holding my. But now, once it's Corbin's turn, I'm going to move back and help assist him. And I pass my turn.
That's my turn.
All right. I'm gonna try the door again. Hold still, you horse. I'll get you out.
You kind of slip.
No.
Oh my god.
I'm going to replace one of... There was a botched roll, I guess.
Yes.
I'm going to replace it with an 8.
And it still drops a little bit.
Oh,
Damn it. Oof. That's really real bad.
Oh yeah, with the +2 it would have been 10, so yeah, it would have dropped. Not a whole lot, but just a little bit.
Oh, I can't do anything else. But
It's... So here, the wall is getting, or the ceiling is starting to get dangerously low.
Oh, I got one more shot with advantage. I will give it.
Yeah. So just can you hold your action until it's my turn, and that's when I help you? Is that how that
Well,
works?
no, you help me, and you just don't get it your turn. That's how it worked
Didn't we
last
just
time.
start a new round?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Sure.
Right, Gorgio? Isn't that what we did last time?
Yeah, I can do that.
Yep.
Hmm.
40. So you pick it up about another 6 inches. It's almost there.
He still can't get through?
Well, he might be able to, if he has room.
Can I try and grab him and pull him back through?
I believe you're kind of holding up this.
Oh, yeah, I'm holding the
forklift.
thing.
Yeah.
Alright, so it's up to him. Alright.
Oh, shit. Damn it. Steve. Wait, shit. Damn it. Where'd she go? There she is. Bam, bam. Alright, Arcadia.
I move back to give plenty of room. And pass my turn.
All right.
But I remember I have a rope on Corbin, so if there's anything that I can do, I'm gonna yank on that.
All right. So, Bear Nico, you noticed that last round Kyra just kind of took off back up the hall, and all of a sudden you hear you kind of, Amitrius, you're pretty much about to get squished. If you've ever seen Star Wars Episode 4, the trash compactor scene, that's kind of how you are right now. And then you hear the ceiling start to retract up and the wall start to come back out.
Did she go pull the lever?
She might have.
Oh, the lever in that room behind the sarcophagus mimic.
She just might have.
Shit. Okay, I just run. I hear that and I just start running through. That counts as double movement for 15, right? Can I get past the bear?
Dashing, yeah, you can get past him.
Okay. So that's 10, 20, 30. Oh, this is gonna. Yeah. 40. I think I get 5 more movement at this point. Where is Sapphire, by the way?
She was still up in that corridor where you had left her. Where we told Nico to wait. She was kind of just hanging out there.
Okay.
She's. I'll just show you. She's right there.
I tell her to go pull the lever.
Well, I already did, right?
Yeah, you get the sense that the lever has already been pulled as the ceiling moved back up and the wall kind of rescinded.
Oh, that's turned off the trap. Kyra went
Yeah.
and turned off the trap.
Right.
Oh God, I thought she turned it on.
I
it was-
must have turned it on because I pulled the lever when we were in the room, so maybe I turned it on and that turned it off.
Okay. Never mind. Okay, that's my turn.
Alright.
And Sapphire's turn.
Alright.
So, Amitrius is alive, the portcullis is open.
The portcullis is still closed while you're still holding the portcullis, but yeah, the walls and all that should be scented.
Alright.
So yeah, I'll just take you out of initiative because you're gonna.
Well,
open up
can
the
I get it
wall.
open enough for us to get through?
Yeah, you'll be able to
okay.
you'll be able to even next round, you'll be able to pull it up.
Alright.
So we are beyond initiative.
I will leave this room, and I will rest against this wall here. I'll say I'm not going ahead anymore.
I'll follow the same path. And I will try to open this door now that the trap is gone.
All right,
I
so
will throw over a crowbar to him. Where he goes, he can take a crowbar.
All right, so let's refresh here for a second. We're gonna move Kyra back down, as she is apparently super fast. As she looks at Kamos and kind of waves at him.
I will grunt back down the hallway like a bear, telling Nico to come forward.
I tell Kyra thank you, by the way.
Yeah, she'll say, "See, I'm useful sometimes."
Much appreciated.
Uh-huh.
So I'm gonna let the bear get in the room because he's better in there. So I'm going to move. And well, I tell Corbin to hold for just a second while I retrieve my hunting trap.
Now is Kamos or Demetrius moving up at all?
No, I'm just staying out.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll move up. Yeah. I guess at this point I'm bringing up the rear.
Okay. Let's put Steve in there. Oops.
Okay, there Nico's in the room.
Arcadia asks Corbin, should I help you with those doors?
No, I've got a crowbar now, so I can still get advantage. I already rolled it too.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Hang on. I'm just doing something.
You are quite injured, so maybe I should be next to you.
Well, if I see something in there, I'm gonna back out.
Okay.
All right. So yes, you are able to open up said door.
Yay! What do I see in there?
And here we go. Oops. Why do you open things? Let me open things. Standing there, you can kind of see like a corner of a sarcophagus.
I'll motion for the bear to go in first, so he has the most room.
The bear actually is not going to be able to fit in there.
Oh, okay. Well, this is what I've come to look for, so I guess I'll call.
Let me lead.
Said.
Now, do I see anything when I step there? Do I see any enemies?
You do not.
How-
But I'm going to read something, and then I'm going to say something else, and then
Okay.
we're going to go on break. So this large barrel vaulted chamber is decorated with polished bronze fittings, which flicker like gold in the dim light of a single torch. The center of the room is dominated by a black marble sarcophagus, engraved with the likeness of your friend Dragonlord Xander. Whispers break the silence, solemn voices from ages past, extolling the deeds of the man interred here. Now, Kamos, you hear coming from the north some booming, like something running. Now, I'll give that to Kamos because he is in the rear.
Okay. I send Sapphire out and look through her eyes to try and get an idea what's going on.
All right, so we'll move her. Bam, bam. So essentially, at that T junction where you guys were at, you know that Minotaur that's Demetrius let live that you didn't notice? When you came back, his body was gone. You see that starting, like, running down.
Crap.
But only Kamos. So we're going to take our tenor here and then come back.
Okay.
Oh my god.
He let it live, not me. Alright, stream. So we'll be back here in about 10 minutes to wrap up the last half of the session. So if you go away, please come
At least you
back.
have space to fight him.
And we'll be back shortly. Yay. Bam. Push that button and push that button. I think we
Here
did that. Yeah, we're back.
And we're live.
Oh, let me turn off the music. But there we go. So yeah.
We all back?
I would assume. So yeah, Kamos. I'll give you guys, if you want to prepare for this fight, you're more than welcome to.
All right, Corbin will dash back into the room and say, let's set up in the room. I can make an illusion of myself, and Arcadia can put a trap underneath it, maybe. Let him charge into the room, because you know he likes to charge.
Oh, you're talking about the Minotaur?
Yep.
Yeah, he's back. Into the
Demetrius
room.
will stomp up and he'll say, "What the hell? I'm going to have words with this guy."
Arcadia says, too late for words, and she's getting her trap out. Where do you want me to put the trap?
Well, first of
And
all, I
what's-
think we all
Let
need
me
to
talk
move
to
out
him
of the
first.
way. I think we all need to move out of the way of the door. Well, let's see if he charges in. If he charges in, then there's no sense talking to him.
I can talk to him.
So let's all move out of the way of the door, because he charges. If you're in his path, he'll crush you. And then,
I'm going to
and
stand
then,
here.
and then I'll put my illusion in the doorway.
Wait, we're all gonna go into the tomb room?
No, I'll say, Arcadia, you should wait with the rest. I'll have a words with this Minotaur.
But I thought we were gonna fight him in the room here.
Yeah.
Wait, are we fighting him in the spike room?
Yeah,
I can't go anywhere else.
yeah.
I'm
Move down.
fighting 'em right here.
Move down one square from where you are. Can you just move
Here?
south? I'm talking to Nico. There you go. And then I would put my illusion, I think, right there. If I could draw a line, I would put my illusion like right in that square. If you put your trap
And should
there.
Okay.
He's coming here, right?
He's coming,
He's coming
from the
down
north.
the hallway.
Oh, he's coming from behind us.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, I'm going in the wrong way.
Yeah, that's why I got confused.
So
So I'm
put-
gonna put the.
Put your trap there in the middle.
Okay, that's my trap. This red circle.
And then I would say, Amitrius and Steve, why don't you both come inside the door and just let him charge in, and then you could talk to him maybe if he doesn't
I'll wait here.
charge in. Like, just inside the door, I'd say.
Yes.
Out of charging range. Same thing with Steve. I would tell Steve, you probably don't want to... Well, I don't know. Would the trap stop him? Would I know that? I've experienced many charges before.
Where you putting the trap?
Right there in the middle, just above where Nico
I
is.
put it where my circle is.
All right. Let's see here. Let's look at this trap. Hunt this trap.
I think it restrained.
A snapshot. Creature that steps on it must succeed on a dex save, and then stop. So if he fails, then he stops.
But if he doesn't fail, he could ram Steve, so Steve probably doesn't want to stand there.
Is someone going to play Steve?
Not all at the same time, guys.
I feel like I'd do a bad job. I'd use all his healing potions on other people.
That would be good.
He only has one
That's not a
left.
bad job. That's not a bad job.
Okay,
So-
I'll play Steve.
Okay.
So my idea
while
is we
we're-
all stay below the top line and let him charge through the door and hit the illusion.
Okay, and then Arcadia asks Corbin. She says, "Unfortunately, you had a lot of experience with this. So, what's his charge range?"
At least 30 feet.
He needs at least 10 feet, I believe.
So he only needs 10 feet to charge. Okay.
I think he might need more than that, but not much. He doesn't need a whole lot. I'd say you should probably be in the far corner closest to the door so you could shoot him without shooting through
Yeah.
people.
I'm
So
gonna
you
move
probably need to
over there.
climb over everybody.
Yeah, while we're waiting, so I'm gonna.
And then Demetrius, you should be inside the door and down one.
Now I'm going to talk to this guy.
Well, can't you do that after he charges into the room?
He's gonna has to charge down here first, right? So.
But then
that's
you're not
when
going
I'll
to.
accept him.
I want the first thing he sees is to be my illusion and then have him charge into it.
I'll try talking to him, and if that goes wrong, I'll step aside. I don't think we should immediately attack him.
I'm not going to attack him unless he charges. That means he'll have attack.
Let me just talk to him first.
Right?
It's going to ruin the trap, though.
Nah, he will just charge you second.
All right. In that case, Kamos, you should probably be next to Arcadia.
That sounds like a dangerous place to be. What are you talking about?
Between Arcadia and the bear.
He doesn't have a lot of protection.
Or maybe that's where
rooms make him pop in and out.
Steve should be there and he should be behind me.
Okay.
Okay, that sounds like a better idea.
I mean, nothing's going to get you through the bear and me if you're in that little corner.
Got it. Except for the spikes, but...
Yep. Well, hopefully we've disabled those. So you're going to try and talk to him at the corner there and then duck back into the room? Is that your plan, Demetrius?
I'm gonna talk to him, and I hope that he will not attack us.
Alright. I still think you ought to do it from in the room, but if you're bound and determined...
And are we doing any healing before we get going?
If I had something to heal myself with, I would.
Does Steve have any healing? Well, the bear is the one.
He still has the ointment, and I suppose I can put a few lay on hands on myself.
Or does Steve can cure wounds? Is he fully charged up?
He already used that. He can only do it once a long rest, and he used it during the skeletons.
I used my second wind. I got one rage left, which I'll use if and when I
Picnic baskets.
get into combat.
Arcadia says I can.
Giving him
If
every
anybody needs some
option here.
healing, I could do it, but I'll miss out on.
I could use a little bit of healing if I'm gonna be in
Okay.
combat.
So
Alright.
Steve Adocious is going to use the who's he? What's
Who has-
it? His
who has a
healing
low
staff
HP? Alright,
on,
Drake.
On Steve. Yeah, no, on
Corbin.
Corbin. Yeah, I'm sorry, we're just prepping. We don't. I just.
Yeah,
do
you
it.
can just do it. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm giving you that option if you want to do
Okay.
any healing before we get going.
How do I do that? It's like a magic item, and so
You
I go
said-
through the inventory.
You're using the ointment.
Yeah.
All right. In the go to his actions under equipped items.
Okay. Equipped items. Yeah. And gem of. Okay, I got it. So that's there. And okay, so I set a target. No, I feel like I got the wrong character selected.
You can always just drag and drop it onto him.
Right. So I just can I do this and drop it onto there?
Cool. On to Corbin.
Yeah, doubled my hit points.
Nice.
Still not great, but better than what I was.
And let's see, who has the lowest HP now?
Probably Steve.
Probably Steve. All right, so Steve, Drake, but you or whoever has the lowest HP a greater heal. So let's go do that. Push this button and do that button. Not the best.
Now only Demetrius is in bad shape.
All right, so here we go.
And he's going to try and be diplomatic for the Raging Bull.
All right.
What could go wrong? By the way, the illusion of Corbin will be like holding a little red cape behind Demetrius, just in case I will taunt him.
All right, so Demetrius, this hulking form of this Minotaur suddenly looms in the central way. And in a very garbled voice, because if you remember, he bit his own tongue out, he snorts and says, "Come to pay respects, have you? Well, what do you think of your great hero? Xander the Conqueror, Xander the Murderer. I'm the last of my tribe. I am the last of my tribe. I cannot sleep. I cannot rest. Xander slaughtered my people. He enslaved my family and bound us to this cursed place. Among your kind, he is revered for this, but I spit on his bones."
I'll say, I spit on him as well. I am no friends of the Dragonlords. They did the same to my tribe. And I am the last remaining member also. So tell me, why do you serve this Xander? Why do you guard his tomb? Have you become a slave to him in mind as well? Have you no honor or integrity?
Who says I guard his tomb? I guard it to get out any interlopers who want to come and see him.
We are not here to respect him.
Bullshit.
It's true. Look at me. I spared you. If I really was a friend of Xander or the Dragonlords, I would not have healed you. I would have simply killed you.
But
I'm a
you're
centaur
here,
and not a human.
But you are still here.
Yes, but not for the reasons that you might think.
Then I suggest you leave.
Tell me, why are you here? And why are you cursed or something? What's going on?
Yes.
What manner of curse? Can we help you in any way?
Oh god, what's his name? The guardian of the tomb trapped me here and forces me.
Who is this guardian?
I believe you have
that
encountered
Watcher?
him already.
We have?
You had it, yeah. You're the one
The
who.
skeletal guy. The guy who paid him. We paid him a coin to get in.
Oh, that undead guy.
Damon, the Lich.
Does he serve the Dragonlords?
You never asked him any questions about that, so.
I ask the Minotaur.
He spits. I don't know who he serves.
I will say, as one warrior to another, I swear upon my holy oaths of the Divine Stallion and my place as a paladin, I am no friend of the Dragonlords. I dislike them as well. We are not here to pay respects to Xander. Let us help you break your curse. Tell us what we must do.
I don't know.
Perhaps you are willing to talk to us. Tell us how your curse came to be.
Give me 1 second.
If I have to roll persuasion, I will use inspiration.
Give me a second here. I'm just looking something up just in case. Fuck. Sorry. Just to see if we can avoid, but I don't think so. Yeah, so he's going to look at you and say, Centaur, you may leave, but the rest of these mortals are mine.
I'll say, listen to me. What you're doing here, you are only defending Xander. We want to stop this madness, this needless violence. We want to help you.
Then
Let us talk. And if
I suggest
all you're going to do is get yourself killed, they see you as nothing more than a beast. Just like they don't see the centaur as anything more than animals. But I know better.
You don't understand. I'm already dead, friend. You may leave. If you leave now, you may leave.
So you are going to defend this tomb no matter what.
You don't understand.
Then tell me. Make me understand.
I wish I could.
Stop being so bullheaded.
Arbin, Corbin will yell, "He is committed, Demetrius. Stand aside and let him come at me."
You have
He's a warrior.
you have oaths, yes.
Yes.
I also have an oath.
You have an oath to Xander?
No, I have an oath to this tomb. I have to guard it.
There's no stopping him. Step aside and let him at me. Toro,
Hold on.
Toro.
Sometimes, Corbin, really. Can you just give me a moment? Why did you swear this oath to this tomb?
It was either that or a fate worse than death.
Who were the other Minotaurs? The
Those were-
skeletons.
Those were my friends and family.
Did Xander kill them
Of course,
and raise them into undead?
that would be the daemon.
The daemon that guards this place?
Correct.
If we kill this daemon, would you be set free?
He starts like snort laughing.
To tell me, is this daemon in league with the Dragonlords?
I don't know.
He seems to protect their tombs, and you seem to serve him in some way.
We all have a master, yes?
I suppose you are right.
I see one of your masters over there.
No, they are not my masters. Well,
Well-
my friend, it's a shame that we have to do battle, but if you insist on keeping us from this tomb, then I'm afraid that we do really have to fight. But if there's anything we can do to help you, tell me. If not, then I suppose to battle it is.
Next time, I will not go easy on you, and please do not spare me.
No, I will not spare you anymore.
And he will, like, in a kind of token of salute, raise up his great axe and kind of bow, or kind of like nod at you.
I will do the same back to him and try to step back into this room here.
No.
Toro, Toro.
Oops. And then we'll do bam. Bam. Alright. We'll go down to Steve, because Sapphire has not been doing anything, and Kyra's doing Kyra things. So, Steve.
Still me. Let's see. Can I see the what is it? The bull?
No. Not where you're at.
Okay. I'm gonna hold my action. And what is his favorite missile? Does he have
Cantrip.
cantrip? Booming blade. Does that have range?
It requires melee.
Okay. And what about Mind Sliver?
I believe that is ranged. Yes, that is ranged.
Okay, I'm gonna hold my action until I see the Minotaur and use Mind Sliver.
Alright.
Corbin will just kind of try to hide behind Nico so he can't be seen, and I'll throw my voice at my image and say, "Toro, Toro! Never mind the horse. Come at me."
Well, as the Minotaur looks at Demetrius, he'll say, "My name is Graxus the Butcher. To death." And he will do this. You see him kind of not grow in size, but like looks like he's getting angry as he swings at you with his axe.
Did they have a different axe now?
Yeah, it's another great axe. It's not the same great axe, obviously, but. Oh no.
Corbin will say, "I told that silly horse." But no, he had to try to talk to the bull.
And then he's gonna move over here in front of the image.
He didn't charge into the image?
did not.
Oh.
Because he would have had to go through Ametreus. And he can't charge through them. It had to be a straight line of a certain amount. But he still thinks that it's Corbin.
I'm going to hold my action because it looks like he is fixated on Corbin's illusion. If he comes towards me, I'm going to attack. But I'm going to wait to see what he does. Although, I believe as a bonus action, I murmur a little something and cast Hunter's Mark on him.
Nice.
And then I pass my turn.
Okay. And I am going to, first of all, the Minotaur charged into the room. I'm going to go for, I'll use Steve's Mind Sliver first.
Yes.
Okay, so... No, well, I gotta change guys. What thing are you supposed to click on and how are you supposed to click on it to change characters?
The token up top.
Yeah, the square one. You click on it once?
Yeah. And your dice should change color. It should be
Yeah.
black dice if you're Steve.
Oh, yeah. Good. Now I see the color of dice change. So I did that.
It's usually the easiest way to tell.
Mm-hmm.
Damn,
Why? I'm
anime,
still
cool.
not able to set target for him.
I'll
I'll just drag it on to him. You
Yeah.
know? It's like there's always more than one way.
Correct.
So there, here. But I didn't get to see. Oh, but it was a success.
Yes.
And do the same with the damage.
He wouldn't take no damage. Not off a cantrip.
Because he succeeded.
Yeah.
Oh, duh. Sorry.
No worries.
So you can fix that. Okay, and what is it? I'm gonna tell Sapphire. Oh, well, let's see how the order goes on these things.
She was up top.
Yeah.
There, Nico is next.
And so I'm just gonna cast. Can I see the Minotaur through the bear?
Yes.
Okay. So this does that. I go here. Actions. Going to cast Tasha's Hideous Laughter on him.
And really quick before you do that, Steve, your arrow is where your thing is, right? Where Corbin's image is.
Yeah, the
Okay.
trap. I'm right on top of the trap. The image is on top of the trap.
Oh, the image is on top of the trap. Okay.
Yeah.
So, okay, sorry. That's good. All right, sorry. Go ahead, Kamos.
Okay.
Does he
And
have
how do you do?
legendaries?
He
Failed.
He's prone.
Does
Nice.
he have? I don't know if he does. Let me double check. He doesn't. Okay. So he starts laughing and falls down.
Hey, call it my
We
turn.
should all surround him, right?
And
We
go
kinda
ahead.
are already.
Kamos, go ahead and put all those effects onto him.
Yeah.
But I mean within melee, so we can just hit him.
Yes. Move in close. Everyone coming in
So
the
you
lead.
giving them a boot party?
Alright, let me take that off. Alright, so go ahead, give yourself a greater heal, one greater heal, and run regular heal. You're
A
back.
lot of ones.
Okay. Let's see.
Corbin will yell out, "Stay out of the hallway! I'm gonna try a line of. I might try the javelin."
Okay. I will move here. I will cast the Armor of Agathis on myself. Which I haven't decided how that looks yet, but it's not like evil.
You get Armor Agathis as a pally? Damn. Oh, yeah, it's a spell.
It's an oath. It's from the oath.
Nice.
Yep. It's one of the spells from the oath. Cool.
Nice.
And that's my turn.
Bear Nico.
There, Nico is gonna shoot out and try to claw him. It's a hit. And then he's gonna try to bite him.
Alright.
But it blocked. Oh,
Strong.
So, Kamos, can you drop that save onto him again, please? Just once.
Yep.
Come on.
Fails still. Cool.
Yay, still laughing.
Why were there 2 dice rolled?
He gets an advantage if he does that save during combat.
Okay.
Or gets hit, and yeah, if he gets hit, then he gets it with advantage. Kara, is she gonna do anything fun?
You're gonna do.
She's gonna move up, and she's going to
Please don't say fireball.
That'd be fun, wouldn't it? It's 20-foot cube. Nope, she can't. So she's not going to do that. Because it would hit other people, and she's not going to hit her friends. Kamos!
Okay. I don't feel like breaking my own spell for the sake of a firebolt. So I am going to delay my firebolt for if the spell drops.
Ooh, that's a smart idea.
Alright.
We can all attack at the same time.
Yeah.
We should all ready an action to hit him at the same time. Then we all get.
Yes.
I
Good
will
idea.
ready an action to hit him the moment someone else hits him. So the moment anyone else hits him with an attack or firebolt, I will immediately hit him as well.
With your axe or your weapon?
Yeah, with my standard melee attack.
Okay.
Because I'm currently unusually carrying a shield and a compass, I'm going to move next to him. So I'm ready to hit as well, where we can coordinate our strikes. And who wants to? So maybe when Nico goes.
I might. No. I'll wait till my turn.
Well, I'll just wait.
All right, so I'm gonna call out. I'm saying I think I
Looks
can
like
move
Nico.
into Nico's. What's that? Is it Nico's turn?
No, I said it looks like he disconnected.
Oh,
Redeems points for
well,
fireball.
you can-
Right? You can use the
well,
javelin.
I was thinking about using the javelin, but I could also, since he's prone,
He has disadvantage on
I
dex save, right?
I think I can go 5, 15. I can go into Nicodemus's space, grapple him, and pull him into the trap potentially.
Oh.
He's got a really high strength and grappling resistance.
Yeah, but I'm gonna be raging.
Oh, okay. Well, it's up to you. It's your turn. Just saying.
Okay. I think I'm gonna try it because it would be really good if I could grapple him while he's prone, because then he can't get up.
But it's also half movement.
Yeah, it'd be 5, 15 to there, grab him.
And then you
and
can
then-
only move half movements.
Yeah, then I'd move back to here.
So that'd be
That'd be
5,
20.
20.
I got
and then you
25.
get out. But if
It's
it
just barely enough. Because
so you're gonna go there.
that's 15. I grab him and I go right back here. That's 25.
We can try it. And then that would also really, if it goes off, that would release all the other attacks.
Yes. So I will rage as a bonus action here. Before I do that. And I don't need the reckless attack because I get advantage anyways. So I will try to grapple him then.
See if it goes up.
Yeah, that's not good. Did I get him?
Oh, he's paralyzed, stunned, unconscious.
He's prone
because he's prone.
and
yeah,
incapacitated.
So yeah, I'll say I'll just say it. Why not? So you're gonna pull him over into the trap.
Yep.
Ooh, painful. Smushing him on that bear trap.
So he'll take. He needs to make that dex save.
Does he take the damage?
If he doesn't make the dex save.
If he doesn't make the dex save. Yeah. Let's see, where's that? Hunter's trap. Yeah, when you use your action, blah blah, stealing, snapshot, yeah, so he needs to make a 13 dex save. So, give him that.
And the image of Corbin will wink and disappear. Say,
Oh.
Olay!
Now that he's chained up, we should like move back. Does he get disadvantage for being
Ow.
prone?
No.
So the trap snaps, but it does not affect him.
Alright. He
Does
still
he get
can't.
disadvantage for being prone?
Yeah. Not.
Or doesn't prone give you disadvantage on dex saves?
Whatever it is.
Oh yeah.
Disadvantages from
backwards.
attacks, but not saves.
Oh, okay, yeah, makes sense.
All right, so he pulled him back. The trap did not go off, but all of your attacks go.
Yep.
Was the spell, he saved on the spell or what?
He saved on the trap.
He saved on the trap.
Oh,
And I missed him my attack.
I triggered, I declared trigger on my action to be if the spell wore off. It sounds like that didn't happen.
No,
Correct.
it has not happened yet.
It is not yet. Let's see
Okay,
if-
so I'm next.
Yep.
The coppice. Oh my god! Wow.
Wow.
He's prone and grappled, and we can't touch him. What happened to Nico? He didn't come back.
He said it was windy out.
He's here. Oh, he doesn't have his character selected though. But he's in game. I see him. Okay. So miss. Anything else from Corbin? Yes, he's hangled on.
I cannot do anything else, so I'm gonna hold him there in place.
Right, Steve.
All right. So that mind sliver, it didn't have an effect. Why was it? Did it? Oh, because he passed.
Yeah,
Correct.
he saved.
Okay. I'm going to do another mind sliver if he breaks the spell.
Okay. All right, go ahead and drop that onto him. See if he breaks.
All right.
Ah, he's still laughing. Bear Nico.
Wow, we're lucky.
Yeah.
Hey, now I'm back in. Bear Nico will bite at him.
I mean, you'll get advantage because he's prone.
It'll automatically
Correct.
slash at him first and then bite at him. Block my armor. Drop them. I think I just barely missed him.
Yeah.
All right, Camels, if you could drop that save on him again, please. Ooh, he stops laughing.
Oh, he doesn't find it funny anymore.
So that triggers Steve's. That triggers
Yeah.
Steve's and
Mind
Camels'.
sliver.
Yep. And I'm looking for the thing.
The thing.
So now his cantrip's shrunk. Can you make it grow again?
That's what she said.
There we go.
You cast Fireball.
Mind Sliver.
Can't do that.
Cast. Okay. And Firebolt.
Be disadvantaged, but
Oh,
too
good
bad.
God.
Drop to 20.
Yeah.
Ouch.
Okay. But either way, those are both of the effects.
Alright. So Kyra, she starts to pull out her book.
Sapphire should help somebody.
Sapphire helps Nicodemus.
Okay, that's fine. Because you'd have to do it on your turn or your bonus, but blah, 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 whatever. Nico.
Nico will slash out again. It's
Critical.
Burn.
Oh.
Oh, I didn't hear anything from Sirenscape.
And no, I did.
Yeah.
A bunch of people cheering,
Or I better join.
and it gets a hit with this bite.
Damn, that's a lot of damage.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I want to divine smite this guy.
Vamos.
Almost.
I think at this point I'm just going to switch to Firebolt because, you know, they don't have to use any more spell slots. He's still on the ground, I guess, right?
Yep.
Yes.
Wah, wah, wah.
I don't want to let him get up because he'll have disadvantage attacking me on the ground.
Alright. Let's see. What is he going to
Got a gnome on his back and a bear in his face.
Ooh, gross. So he's going to look right at Corbin,
Ah.
and you can feel his gaze kind of like, oh wait, no, he actually isn't going to do this yet. He's going to attack you twice. Why not?
No. Alright. Block it. No, damn it.
Why can't he? Oh, I guess I should probably take the stun off.
One automatic miss, that's good.
No, it's not a miss. Because I had prone on him.
He is prone.
Oh, he can still hit though, with
Yeah.
even though he's prone. So that's just
But that gives him disadvantage, right?
right. And he rolled disadvantage. There we go. And then seconds. Oops. Miss. Then I need to do this again. I'm just going to have to keep putting prone on him when it's his turn. Effects. Alright. Steve.
Yeah. Oh, Steve's turn. Why do I hear a sound? I get it. Do I have anything better to do than
Oh, he has some
Sliver,
stuff.
or is it like
Booming blade attack.
Yeah, he still has him, Steve.
Probably his strongest attack.
He wasn't able to use them because he was laughing.
all right?
But now that he's
So
no
I
longer
step
laughing,
in.
he's going to use them.
What is it? Booming blade. It just does damage, or do I have to make an attack with this?
You have
It
to
only-
make attack. And
Yeah,
it
does
only...
regular attack damage. It won't do damage to him unless he moves.
Correct, which currently he's not able to anyways.
Okay. So he has to move up before Booming Blade does anything, and it's got an 8-foot range. You're saying? Oh, sorry. It's got. I have to be next to him, and then just like.
It's a regular attack.
Yeah, so Booming Blade is a regular attack, and then if he moves, then he'll take the extra thunder damage.
Yeah, but he ain't got no bit to go.
Correct.
No,
I'm gonna go back to where it
Steve.
was.
Just do Mind Sliver.
Yeah.
and you need to target him?
I can't figure out how to target with him, so I just drag and drop the dice. Oh, he
It
picked.
works.
Any
Do it
bets?
in the
So before
Okay.
Ametreus, he's gonna
Legendary.
he's gonna attack Orban. Okay, cool. Ametreus, you got a crit.
Oh yeah, I raised my hands into the air and I was summoning all the power from the planet for my spirit bomb. And thank you for the energy, Turbo KKV. Oh, it will make sense if you change it, please.
Oh, I get it. I get it.
Where's the damn device? Oh, here it is. High rolls, please. Not bad. A few low ones, but could be worse.
Could
Yeah,
be
it's pretty
worse.
good.
Alright, so after your turn, you will attack Corbin again.
Miss me. Damn it!
Let's see.
I need better armor.
Off, and then we'll do damage. Oh no! Oops. Arcadia.
And she is going to attack him with her coppice. Okay, I'm wondering why that hunter's... What? We should have got hunter's mark on
Isn't it
him,
for reach
too.
attacks?
The only thing that's
Is
oh
that-
wait, hang on. Find the only thing that's on him is find marked advantage. I don't know. It should have gone off.
Oh. It should have
Yes.
gone up. So can I do another 6 on there?
Yeah, just roll d6, and I'll add it on. Nice.
I'll
Bam.
put that on him. I don't know why it fell off. Alright, and then I go ahead and pass my turn.
Corbin, you will.
Am I alive?
Yeah, you do, but you're no longer grappled onto him though.
Yep. It's alright.
But yeah, you have a healing from Brent.
Yay. Alright. So, unfortunately, getting knocked out put me in a bad shape, so I will...
Heal yourself first.
Oh, yeah, I got a healing potion, sorry. Regular healing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright, I will disengage and bravely run away.
So that's yeah, about there.
I will try to make myself small and unattractive to be attacked.
Combos.
Alright. So, second verse, same as the first. Firebolt. That's still a hit, right?
Yep.
Dropped to 20, but still a hit.
I'll take it.
He'll be getting up now.
And I tell Sapphire. Can I tell Sapphire to aid Steve Adocious,
Sure.
and he'll get a bonus this turn?
Yeah.
Okay.
He'll just have advantage.
On his attack roll, yeah, that's
Correct.
what I'm doing. Okay, I pass my turn to me.
Yep.
In case that I'm going to use Booming Blade this turn. In case, I have to be next to him.
Correct.
And then I just make an attack roll
Yes.
with the hand axe, right?
Whichever weapon he has, yeah. I think axe or rapier, either one. I think rapier does more damage.
It does.
Yeah, but so I just do it. I can do damage with this attack as well. I didn't know that.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a regular attack.
Oh, I see the rapier.
The booming comes on top of the regular attack. If he moves.
If he moves, yeah. But he misses.
Okay. Wait a minute. Yeah, he was gonna miss. Both of those missed, right? Because I had advantage and disadvantage. They cancel each other out.
No, advantage with melee because he's prone, and there's no such thing as double advantage.
Oh yeah, so I keep giving people advantage that don't need it. Got it. Yeah, so I'll learn.
Well, he's about to stand up, so it won't matter.
Sure.
Oh, damn it, you moved in the way. That's not good. Yeah, I don't think I can kill Steve as much as a temptation is there.
No, can't kill
I
Steve.
will.
We're not killing Steve.
Hey guys, what happened while I was gone? Yeah, that'll go over well.
I will.
We're not killing Steve.
I'll throw. Well, if I threw my lightning thing, I probably would kill him. So I'll just throw a regular javelin.
Hey, Ralph.
But you could yell at him to get out of the way.
Yep. Let's see. I'm not raged
And
anymore.
detarget yourself.
I will reckless attack.
Yes, detarget yourself.
Did that.
Sounds like a good part of a reckless attack that, you target yourself.
Nope, it's not going to do that either.
Ooh, I got a crit out of it.
If you didn't have disadvantage.
Why would I have disadvantage?
Because you're using a ranged attack while he's prone.
Oh, but I still hit him. What else can I do? You know what? As a bonus action, I will recast my mirror image in front of him again.
Didn't you reckless?
Oh, reckless isn't a bonus action, is it? Hold on, let me check that.
I thought it was. Maybe it's not.
I think
Oh,
it's
I
just
guess not.
something I can just do that. Yep. So I'll recast my image in front of him too.
Okay. Do nothing. Sapphire did her thing. Arcadia.
Right, same thing. Just going to strike at him with her compass. Wow. All right. Pass my turn.
Goat.
Your Nico will lash out. More time. All right. Oh, he is just ripping and a tearing.
All right. So
Yeah, Nicodemus is doing well today.
half move to stand up. And he's going to look around and say, "Don't say I didn't warn you." And you'll see him kind of. He's bleeding really bad, and he's going to kind of with a burst of energy. Now he's glowing red, essentially if you've ever done a played any RPGs second phase, this is kind of his second phase he's entering. And he is, oh yeah, so he's going to kind of spin around really fast in his area, and kind of like these skeleton bones in here is gonna lash out and hit some people.
Nice.
Demetrius.
I am going to attack him.
Uh-oh, exactly. Did I do it right? Should have gained.
And my
nope.
turn.
It's 1. There we go. That's right, because his heal. Kara will say, uh-oh. And she will move back. And at the end of her turn, Grexus is going to swipe at Bernico. Alright, Steve.
Okay. How much damage has he taken already? Okay. And he doesn't look like he's moving at all, or there isn't even a place for him to move.
Correct. There, yeah. I mean, yeah.
Not
there's
much.
Really. And plus all you guys are right next to him. So why would he move?
Yeah, yeah. And I'm looking at like some benefit he has here. It's
There is lowest. All right.
Okay.
That would probably be.
so I am going to now that I've
Carbon.
got smacked around by this guy and I don't think I'm doing any very great benefit, I am going to withdraw and move to here.
Disengage, I'm assuming.
That's what I meant. Disengage.
All right. I'm just, yeah.
Terminology is important.
Yes.
No, I'm first going to get the bad guy's attention, and then.
Well, that's what Steve would do. But
Oh, yeah.
Look at me, look at me. Well, Nyla, technically,
Time for another
the
timeout.
enemy is the lowest. Do you want to heal him?
I use my Saf. Can I give myself a aid on casting spells also?
I don't think so.
if they're to
Yeah.
hit rolls, they can, right?
Yeah, if it's a hit roll, yes. But if it's like a...
Like fireball would work, but nothing else.
yeah.
Okay, so I am going to cast
Not the
Touches
enemy.
again on him.
Alright. Okay.
Yeah, well, can't play the same trick is only going to work so many times.
Alright, so Graxus is going to move right there.
Does that
Of course
trigger
he's
the trap?
gonna move.
Does that trigger the trap again when he moves off it? Because it never triggered.
No, because it has to reset.
Oh.
It went off, but it didn't affect him.
Oh, okay. So it's used up.
And he's going to kind of lean back and like kind of suck in a bunch of his blood and then spit it in a cone.
Yeah. I'll duck behind the bear.
It's just gonna get Bear Nico raging.
And
Loves blood.
just to remind you, some of you have, or well, Nico has advantage, or whatchamacallit, still?
Poison?
No,
Or what is it?
inspiration.
Inspiration.
Oh.
I'll use it.
Oh yeah, okay, that sounds good.
I think I've
that.
used.
What-
I think I've used mine.
Yeah, you guys, Kamos and Nico still have one.
And
Yeah. I used mine.
I'll use
Uh,
it.
Dan, you used yours already.
No, I didn't.
You used
Oh, yeah.
something,
Yeah, on the door.
Yeah, I wanted to use it, but you didn't have me roll persuasion.
No, it was on something else you used. I don't
No,
remember.
I said
It's not.
I was using-
Stop. It's not attacking you, anyways.
Oh, okay.
Is it magical?
Six.
I succeeded. Or Bear Nico failed.
I was gonna use it. How would I have done that?
Oh, you would have clicked the advantage button.
Oh, for crying out!
Let's see if you save. But just roll on. You can hang on. Where's yeah?
Okay. Well,
Yeah,
It
either way.
wouldn't have mattered.
Either way, you would have failed it. And that's his turn.
He spit on me.
Yeah, just a little bit.
That hurt. Good thing it was only half.
Let's see. I will use the disengage action.
The horse is running away.
Move here.
Okay. And at the end of your turn, he's going to hit Nico. And miss. Oh wait, it hits. Holy shit!
Oh, you hit him.
All right. Oh no.
It happens.
No, she's not. Well, now you can heal at least.
Arcadia.
She is going to swipe at him with her coppice again.
Nice. I don't think snake attack would have gone off though.
No,
Oh, right.
because the bear
you
dropped
moved.
out.
Sorry.
Well,
yeah.
where would Nico be? If Nico was next to her when he de-shifted, then it would go off.
Yeah. So, but you still would have gotten the hunter's mark.
Hunter's
So
mark.
I'll just give it back. I'll leave the 5 on there and give it back 2 for the hunter's mark. Does that make sense?
Okay. Yeah.
I keep it coming off.
Don't know.
All right, and then I can. I'm not sure why Demetrius. She says, "Am I in your way?" She just says to Demetrius, "Am I in your way?"
No.
Okay, and so she's.
you are the way.
And he didn't like that.
So is it my turn?
After he attacks Arcadia
Oh,
and misses. Now it's your turn. Oh wait.
all right.
And
She looks
So
at
now,
that shield and she's like, "That shield's not a bad idea after all."
see you there.
hang on, since Nyla bought you a healing potion because you were the lowest.
That would be me.
Yes.
Awesome. So I got a heal, regular heal.
Yep. And bam, I already did it for you. Go ahead, your turn.
All right. So now that everybody's out of the way, I will heft the lightning javelin, and I will try to shock him. Give him the shocker. What is javelin of lightning? There it is. I attack and then I save. Is that how it works?
But yeah, because you gotta.
I'll reckless attack that too, but I doesn't need it. Doesn't matter. Blocked. An 18 doesn't hit him. Is that right?
I missed.
I thought you were going to use the lightning bolt. Isn't that a dex save?
He has to hit with the javelin first, though. Or he has to hit with it.
Well, I mean, am I able to use reckless attack and roll it again? I mean, I was gonna reckless attack, but I'd have to roll like a 20 to hit him apparently.
So that melee.
Go for it again. Why not?
All right.
Put the reckless on yourself and then roll it.
All right. I'm not sure it's gonna do any good, but who knows? I might roll a 20.
Wait, hang on. Let's see. Let me read this real quick. Javelin, magic weapon. You hurl it and speak its command word, it transforms into a bolt of lightning, forming. No, you don't even have. It's just a dex save.
Oh, okay. So just roll the save.
Yeah.
You think it's a straight line, so you would have to move up, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd
go
move
right
up
there.
and then move back. That was what I was gonna do.
All right. So give him the dex save. Succeeded. And half damage though. So roll damage.
All right. So just roll the damage.
Yes.
I'm targeting him.
Nice. And then it falls to the ground right in front of him.
Yep. And I will move down out of the way. What's on the other side of the owl? Can I move into the same space as the owl?
Yeah.
I'll do that. I'm gonna cower behind the owl.
Okay. He didn't like that either, so he's going to hit Arcadia. Alright. Nico. Oh, shit.
Oh,
Is that Arcadia went down?
It was.
Nico will healing word Arcadia.
Still not be okay.
And
There.
pass his turn.
Alright. Alright, so before Steve goes. Corbin. You see the tomb. You see that, or you hear it kind of slide to the side.
Uh-oh.
Oh, no.
And you see your old friend Xander. He is definitely a desiccated corpse. And you see him look at Grexus, and he raises up his hand towards him. And the Minotaur's axe appears to kind of jump from the beast's hand of its own volition, like it wants to, flying into the grasp of the undead king. And Xander turns to look right at you. Then, curiously, he changes the grip on the weapon and presents its handle to you.
I will take the weapon and I'll say, "My old friend, what has happened to you?"
And he kind of nods and will say, "Take care of that problem first."
Okay.
Steve.
Okay. Let's see. Steve's going to move up 5, attack and booming blade. Okay, so I do a normal attack. Why do these things keep collapsing on me? Alright, and so rapier, butcher. Okay.
Nice. Nice.
I think, Steve Adocious is done for a round.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah, yeah.
Alright, so he again is going to suck in some blood and spit it at your guys' direction.
Did you accidentally apply a reckless attack? Oh, that was Corbin himself.
Hmm?
Oh, fuck.
And was Corbin supposed to have reckless attack? Because didn't he take it off when he realized he didn't need to?
I used it. I used it. It's alright, he's not attacking me anyway, so it doesn't matter.
Now, he's going to spit blood at Arcadia, Steve, and Demetrius.
Steve's gonna use his. Oh, did Steve already use his inspiration? I don't
He
think
did,
so.
he
I
has
don't think
not.
he has.
He has not.
Okay,
So
so
if you-
I'm going to.
Yeah, hit that advantage button on Steve.
Doesn't Steve also have shield?
This is a save. 3, 2, 1. Nice, all success. Good, good, good. Oops, wrong damage. It's still 3d6, so.
Oh no, she's down again. Somewhere Corbin chortles to himself about 5 deaths.
And then, so Steve, if you want to up attack him, you can, because he's going to move down right there.
And curious, Gorju, how do the healing potions in the chat work? Do they only come when they're on my turn?
Yes, they
Because
will.
I had a...
Yeah,
Okay.
so you'll get back up.
Yeah, you'll get up right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh wait, before that happens, he moved and I had cast Booming Blade on him.
Oh yeah, so go ahead and roll that thunder damage. And then if you want to up attack him, because he moved out of your range, you can do so as well.
Okay.
Thunder damage, yep. Cool. Nice.
There's that. And on normal attack. Yeah. That missed. Okay.
Right. So Arcadia, you have a healing. Oops, let me take that thingy off of you. Bam, bam. There you go. Now drop it.
Okay, so is this considered an action or is this not?
No, nope, not an action. It's like Billy came over, ran over, and dumped it in your mouth while you were sleeping.
Okay. So she looks at Graxis and she yells. She looks like she kind of glances at Corbin. She recalls that conversation they had a long time ago about staying angry. So she yells. You've never seen her really do much in melee before, and she will swipe at him again with the cutlass.
And while you looked over at Corbin, you can see a corpse of something. And it's wearing a crown. It hurts. Yep.
And she passes her turn, and she kind of looks at that corpse for a second.
I will yell out, do not bother him. He is my old friend Xander. I do not think he will harm us.
Corbin.
Alright, so I was given a giant axe and told to take care of the butcher, right?
Yes.
So I will...
I don't know if you can... Do you have the strength for a great axe? 15? Yeah, you can have a strength for a great axe.
Alright. I will take the great axe and I will go smack him with it. Do I need to add a weapon somewhere, or what do I do?
Yeah, roll and a hit to attack, and then if it hits, I'll roll damage on it.
Alright. And let's see, I got Reckless. Yeah, Reckless is on, so...
Cool, that'll hit, and then, let's see, great axe, damage, cool. Smacking him, and he killed him, or, yeah, he killed him with his own weapon.
And I will drop the axe a little disgusted that I had to use an implement. I'm like, nah. I had to use a weapon.
And as he falls to a knee, he'll say, "Please, release me."
And I will say, I grant your wish, and I will lop off his head.
Nice. And he's dead.
Yay!
Yay!
I'll look over at Demetrius. Don't heal him. Don't.
They all say the same. Don't tell them.
And I will go back and I will. Actually, I'll pick up the axe and I'll hand it back to Xander.
Okay.
And I will say, thank you, my old protege.
Anything for my old master.
I will say, what has happened to you? Why are you in this tomb with minotaurs?
I wish I would know. I honestly don't know. This is the first time I've been awake in what year is this?
It has been almost 500 years.
500. Holy sh! Whew. Yeah, it's been a while. Well, my old lord. First thing he's going to do, he's going to take off the breastplate that he is wearing, and will lay it on the ground. And then he's going to tell you something as soon as I can find you. He's going to let you know that your armor has been stolen by a man named Gaius, who is under the command of Sidon. And that your armor is in his room on the island of Yonder.
Damn it! I was really needing that armor.
Nolan.
And then, so he takes the breastplate off, lays that on the ground, and it's actual breastplate this time too.
Yay! At least I
And
get a breastplate.
I put that in the party sheets, and then what he's going to do, he takes off his crown, and he hands it to you, and says, "Take the mantle of Dragonlords, but do it better. Be the Dragonlord we should have been." And then
Alright.
he will climb back into his tomb, and will close the lid. And I need to give you this thing.
Oh, I don't get to talk to him anymore.
Nope. He said his piece and then left.
I was gonna find out what happened to me. I'll look at Kira and say, Kira, can you tell me anything of my background? How was I betrayed? What happened to my protege?
I don't know. Ask your girlfriend.
I will next time I see her.
I will spit on the ground as I look at Xander.
And he, as he was climbing back into his tomb, he looked at you and smiled.
And I will say,
But yeah.
I say, do not be so hasty, Demetrius. You know I was betrayed. Perhaps he was as well.
He's a scumbag.
You don't know that.
I know enough. We've all seen the evidence. He's nothing but a killer.
And in your inventory, you have a thing called a Crown of Dragons.
Yay.
Yay.
What does it do?
I don't know.
I don't know what the Crown of Dragons does as a former Dragonlord.
Nope. Because you've never worn a crown. Because you weren't a king. Remember, Dragonlord Xander was once a king. The greatest of all Dragonlords, if you remember Kyra's speech.
Am I supposed to see that in my inventory?
Let's see, what is it labeled as? Yeah, it's labeled as a Crown of Dragons.
This isn't the best place to take a short rest and identify the item, but maybe we can just do that we can just shortcut to that part and then tell us what I learned.
Yeah, and you guys, if you want to, you don't have to. We can skip forward. Getting out of this maze.
Yes, so let's get out of here post haste.
Nothing's gonna mess with you.
I wanna cut out the Minotaur's heart and eat it.
Nice.
And I'll say your strength will aid me in righting these wrongs. Can I carry the rest of his body out of this place?
He's about 2,000 pounds.
That would be a no.
Corbin
says-
I wanna maybe tie some rope to him and maybe drag him along or something. I mean, the horses can carry carts, which weigh about as much as them.
Yeah, give us strength. Let's see.
Corbin, as you're eating the
Can I
heart,
use athletics?
Yeah, that's fine.
as you're eating the heart, I will say, watch out for mad cow disease.
That's for the brain.
So you get him all nice and tied up, even though I believe someone cut his head off and the heart's gone.
Yes.
But he's a heavy boy.
I will ask Nicodemus for help.
Oh. Doing what?
I want to carry him out of here and bury him outside.
Oh. I will help you.
Oh yeah, if that's all you're doing, yeah, that's fine.
Like this guy was, he hated this name, so I don't want to leave him here.
All right.
And I want to walk in front of them because, you know, there's going to be like this long, greasy, you know, smear of blood through the whole entire dungeon.
Absolutely.
There's only it's only so much prestidigitation you can do.
Yeah, no, I'm not up for that.
Alright, so we're gonna do this.
And besides, it's always good to leave a trail so you can find your way back. And
Yeah.
it's
Yeah,
just-
Arcadia taught us that.
Oops, I don't know why.
As
it won't grab all of
as
them.
he pulls the body out, I will take the head and go put it on Xander's tomb.
Okay.
I would have, of course, taken the head. I would have taken the entire thing.
Alright. Yeah, I would assume you would.
All right, I'll let him do it then. I don't care so much. I cut his head off.
Is
That's
there
what
wa-
matters.
Alright, so
As
we...
they're walking out. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
I was saying, as they're walking out, Arcadia walks next to Corbin and says, "Tell me more about this rage." As you saw her, like, kind of do it a little bit. She's not quite adept at it.
If you can get angry enough, the blows don't affect you as much. But you have to either take damage, or you have to attack. You don't have to hit. You only have to attack.
She says, "I think it's a little different for Amazons. I know some of the elders, if they get mad, they can get mad, but the minute they take damage, it seems to stop. But it protects you for that fleeting moment when you're angry.
Corbin
But
said,
I still
"How-
need to get
how
to the
odd.
point
must,
where I can do
must
that."
be a womanly thing."
God.
She glares at you.
Oh.
Corbin will make us a little goat sound.
Alright, so now you get out of the maze.
She can't help but suppress a smile, which
Corbin will say, "You did pretty good toe-to-toe with the Minotaur, though. I will give you that. But you see my point in why I fall down so much. Those things hurt."
she
pretty
nods
tough.
at you.
Alright, we get out of the maze. Are you staying in the necropolis, or are you leaving the necropolis as well?
I don't think... Is there any place we haven't looked in the necropolis?
So the tombs,
Yeah,
Yeah, because it's like we still have Ophelia the book,
Oh yeah,
I
there's
have
still
no
places to
idea.
go.
and
But-
well, and they
something-
said, Vulcan said to talk to Damon, but apparently Damon was the Watcher.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well,
Wasn't
then-
there was one other tomb up around the corner, right? Beyond the one where we were at that we saw?
Yeah, there's a few tombs left that you hadn't really checked out.
Okay.
Maybe
well,
we should.
How many days until the petrification?
Let's see here. Calendar. Today is the 12th, and oops, let me change it right there. And the thing takes place on the 16th.
This will put us on the 13th after we rest. So do you guys want to stay in here and rest?
Wait, it's the
Or
10th,
go out.
and it takes place on the 16th, so it's 6 days until that, right?
It's the 12th.
Well,
Oh. So then we only
No,
have
and
2
we
days
need to
left.
have and we have to have a day to get back.
yeah.
I think it was at least like 2 days to get back, right?
If you're hoofing it, you can get back in about a day and a half. Depends if you rest or whatever.
Yeah.
Then we should get out of here.
Alright, so leave and take a long rest outside the necropolis?
just a couple things. You know, by checkout, can we just look at the outside of these other tombs? I understand we don't have time to go in them, but you know, what is it? Can we have an hour just to evaluate the outside of
Sure.
them?
Absolutely.
Yeah. I think
Now we
that's
don't
good.
have to take a rest right now.
no,
Let's see.
we don't need to.
Yeah, so let's see. One tomb is the tomb of Ochos, Arclander, Oathsworn of Hexia. There is.
Wait a second. And the minute she sees that, Arcadia stares.
He's the guy that started the war, isn't he?
No, Hexia is the dragon that has my mother.
Uh-huh.
Arcalander.
Esther Archelander is the one who started the order.
Archelander started the war.
Yeah.
This is
And this was the tomb of.
this is Ochos Archelander,
Oh.
Oathsworn of Hexia. You have another tomb that is called Lysis Archelander. There is no Oathsworn to that. That would be up there. And then if we continue making our way, let me move my map over yonder. This is the tomb of Nicholas. Nicholas Phobos, Blessed of Sidon. That is the tomb
I'm
of...
not sure why I can't
Go.
see anything.
Yeah, me neither.
Oh, wait.
map.
Because you're not on this map. Hang on. There.
Oh, I see stuff.
Oh, there we
Then
go.
we're just going to turn that off. Alright, can you see my arrow?
Yes.
Alright. So
I don't have the map.
I shared it.
Now I got it.
Alright, so
I guess we're here just checking this place out.
yeah, that one is the tomb of Cosmo Phobos, son of Rhizon Phobos, second Oathsworn of Balmetria. Let's see. Down here.
So maybe Xander died and Balmetria went to another Dragonlord.
Correct. This one is the tomb of Rhizon Phobos, Oathsworn of Sepulchrox. Sepulchrox? Something like that. Sepulchrox. Sure.
Ask Camos how to pronounce it.
Yeah, exactly. Have I done Adonis? I don't think I did Adonis yet. So this tomb is Adonis, newer dragon, Oathsworn of Respitrion. Most beautiful of the Dragonlords is even what it says underneath.
Maybe we should check some of these tombs out, like the one belonging to the champion of Sidon.
Yeah, I think can we do this in the next session? But maybe we can get another rest in Corbin's tomb. But I know that Arcadia is going to really study the tomb, that Hexia, and then she's going to ask Kyra a lot of questions.
All right, so we're gonna do short rest, long rest.
I would say we would do a long one, probably, right? If it's time for that.
Well, I don't want to miss the execution thing.
We still have 3 days, right?
We'll
After
do a
the rest?
short rest for this and then take off.
Yeah.
All right.
All right,
Let's try a short rest.
cool.
Okay.
Hold on if we got him. And then yeah,
So we'll go ahead and.
First
Yeah.
thing for next week, I also want to talk to what is it? The guy in the bridge,
okay.
and so because we're over time. Talk to him and ask him about the book, ask him about my doomed status, all that. Okay.
Sounds good. All
And I
right.
want to ask him about the Minotaur curse, and I want to check out the tomb of the Sidon guy.
All right. So let's see. I'll make note of that. And then after this place, where are we going?
Back to the city
Back to this.
at
Yeah.
full speed.
Cool.
Yeah, we're gonna hoof it.
Yep. Are you going to be identifying this stuff, like my helmet and stuff for me?
Well, sure, if we have enough time. I mean, a short rest. I'd like to use that to regain a slot. It's really just a question of time.
Yeah.
Well, it's just a short rest plus 10 minutes.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
So
then
if,
you.
You might want to have Steve roll some hit die.
Oh yeah.
all right. So your crown. Let's see here. You're doing the crown or the plate first? I guess it doesn't matter. So the crown. Oh, the Dragonlords. The crown of the Dragonlords grants you the ability to prepare the following spells: Bond of the Dragonlords and Dirge of the Dragonlords. If you are not a spellcaster, then as long as you wear the crown, you can cast Bond of the Dragonlords. Once you cast it, you must finish a long rest before you can cast it again. Yada yada yada. That is the crown for you.
I still don't see that in the inventory, but maybe I'll see it after we log out and log back.
Yeah, it's in there like 5 down or 6 down.
Yeah, it's doing that thing where I can see it and you can't. You can see it and I can't.
See, breastplate of Mirtos.
Yeah, I don't.
Character has +1 bonus to AC and +1 bonus to Charisma while wearing this armor. Giants and Titans have disadvantage on their attacks against an opponent wearing the armor.
Nice.
And it's also in your inventory.
Yeah, that I see.
Okay. And you already did the axe and the shield. Need to get those fixed. And yeah. So next week we're going to talk to Damon a little bit more, check out the rest of these tombs, and then hoof it back.
Yes.
Alright, cool.
Good game, everybody. Thanks.
Yay! You made it out of the maze!
Thank God.
Thank you.
About time.
Yeah.
No more Minotaurs.
For now. Oops. Alright, so we will be back here next week. Go.
Thanks, everybody.
Yes, thank you.
Yep.
Very funny.
Good
Alright.
game, everyone.
Yep.
Alright. Thanks,
See you next
stream. Thanks for hanging out. All the chat interactions, we appreciate that. Next game with me will be next Saturday, at 1 p.m. Central Plains Chris Strad, and then we'll be back here next Sunday at 8:30 a.m. playing session 14 of this Odyssey of the Dragonlords. So thanks, guys, for hanging out, and we will see you next time. And if you want to catch up back up on this episode or past episodes, there's a YouTube channel. Check that out. And thanks. See you later.